Hi, my name is Julie, and I was part of the multi-level marketing industry for 5 years and part of two high control groups, commercial cults, simultaneously during that same 5 year period. This is the beginner's guide to launching on TikTok, even if you have no following. This is the training that I had done for a high control coaching group, network marketing coaching group, and I never was paid for it. And Nicole from Breaking Even Communications here on YouTube suggested I do this. And I think it's a really cool way of kind of like taking my power back. I I got into the multi-level marketing industry. I loved helping people and I love to create content. And so I'm really excited about this. So this is going to be the updated, new and improved beginner's guide to launching on TikTok, even if you have no following, updated for 2022. Like we're rolling into 2023. So what I'm going to do is I think I can put in like 5,000 characters in the description. So I'm not going to like put everything that I'm reading in it, but I'm going to put like the main parts. So then you could go back to the description and just, get some tips for what it's worth. It might help you, it might not. I don't know all the answers. Um, the the biggest thing is that it's just about creating content consistently, whatever that looks like for you. Instead of anybody telling you that you have to post 1 to 3 posts a day and it's got to be at 5 p.m. Eastern time, or to put a hook at the first 5 seconds, or to remember to do a call to action, it just gets really overwhelming. The thing to remember, in my opinion, is just to fucking create. Just create. If you take away two things from this video, I hope that the first one, no, the first one is to just create, just create, ignore everything, just create. And the second thing is that when TikTok glitches, it always will. The next time it glitches and you're on it and all the views go to zero and everybody's freaking out, just remember it's like, oh, this happens, and just take it as a cue to put your phone down and like go for a walk or go do something else. It will reset. And we get really caught up in like, oh no, something has happened. I've lost, 40,000 followers and all the views are at zero. TikTok just glitches. So I hope you remember those two things. All right, so let's do this. So this first thing is that this isn't the TikTok of 2019. That's when I got on it. There was people that got on before I did, but anybody that's giving you advice, saying it's just this easy, or this is this unlock, these are these secrets, all you have to do is this, it's just fucking bullshit. And it's meant to like create a lot of hype and to get your money a lot of time, right? And it's like manipulative. There's no secrets to this shit. That's what nobody wants to hear. A lot of it, people get lucky. Nobody knows the secret code for a viral video. Otherwise, everybody would have viral videos all the time. A lot of times, viral videos, it just happens. It happens by mistake. You make a piece of content that you're embarrassed about, and that's the one that takes off for some reason. The ones that you put a lot of time and effort in that you think are really good get nothing. They get diddly squat. So my hope with this training, before I get into all this other stuff, I thought I'd give you the one big point is just to create consistently. Then I'm going to like ramble on about all this other stuff. It's to kind of, I hope to remind you of what you already know. My background, I had a lot of brainwashing, indoctrination, coercion going on through the multi-level marketing industry, the mindset talks, and, when you hear these people, these inspirational speakers, these people on stage, when they tell you a concept, and you'll come across these people on TikTok as well. Oh, they'll have like millions of followers. People think this is the most amazing thing ever. You have to become the better version of yourself. What the fuck does that mean? It means nothing. I can identify this stuff now. But the reason why a lot of this thing lands and it hits so well is that we already know this stuff. We're reminded of it when somebody says it, but that's not them taking credit then for showing you something. So this will be a twist on a TikTok training, I think, because I have this experience with multi-level marketing. Also, please try to ignore or not get sucked into like every third post that you're like swiping through on TikTok giving you marketing advice. You don't see this shit happening on Facebook. You don't see people posting and being like, do you want your Facebook post to get more views? But it's just all over the place on TikTok. And you'll see people, it's like, use this trending audio. Or is your video not getting very many views? Try this. This is the best. And it's like, it's just a whole bunch of people running from one thing to another to another. And what I hope to help give you in this video is to just keep finding your way back to yourself and to create, to just keep creating, like regardless of the trending video, regardless of whatever Joe Blow or Joanne Blow S is telling you what you should or shouldn't be doing. Just to keep finding your way back to yourself and just fucking create, because that's what this is about. Okay. So I hope you're still with me if this is like resonating with you. Oh, I'm trying to get rid of all this language anyway. Okay. Let's see. So there's going to be videos that have 0 views that I'm going to be getting into the tips, which is the first one is consistently anyway, but it's important to go through this preamble because I want you to be prepared. Like if you are getting new on TikTok, you might have a lot of preconceived notions. You might be comparing yourself to other people, hearing these amazing success stories that someone just posted this, and it's all bullshit. It's all meant to like just try to like amp things up for you to buy somebody else's course, when all you have to do is just start creating and keep finding your way back to yourself. Create what you want to create when you want to create it, and keep the distractions of comparing yourself or hearing other people telling you that what you're doing is wrong. Just try to keep pushing that away. And it affects all of us. There's going to be videos that you do that just take off. What I've noticed is sometimes when people first start posting on TikTok, their first video will get a lot of views. What does a lot of views mean? It could mean 6,000. It could mean 400. But it's a lot. It's a lot more than you're going to find on Facebook, you know? And then their next video might have like 3 views, and immediately they'll think, what did I do wrong? You know, what's going on? And sometimes, I mean, these social media platforms, they want to keep us on the platform as long as possible. So they use all these manipulative tricks, and they know all the dopamine and all this shit. So it's just good to kind of get this out there in front of you right now before you start creating, because you're playing kind of a losing game. Being on social media, we're all being manipulated. You know, I can turn off my phone at any time. It's like, sure you can. If you know the secret to that, let us all know. So TikTok is very much about creativity, spontaneity, and community. The community aspect is just, it's really fucking cool. That's the part I really am excited about. So you'll see this happen with the duets and the stitches feature, where people are shouting each other out. They'll be interacting with other people's content, adding their 2 cents. Is that even an expression anymore? I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm Gen X. That's like the 2 cents. I put that in a comment the other day, and I'm like, I'm not being understood anymore. It's my opinion. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Let's see. All right. So, okay. After this, I hope that you, just get out there and start creating and playing and experimenting and trying new things. It's really exhilarating. So there's no right or wrong ways to be yourself. People are going to give you all kinds of advice. It's important to say this because TikTok is just fucking inundated with these like marketing experts now, right? Which they weren't fucking on TikTok in 2019. They missed that, right? Now suddenly, now they have the answers and the secrets. They have shit. They have jack shit. That's what they have. So somebody can't teach you how to be authentic. Someone can't teach you ways to become more of yourself. Only you can. And the way you do that is by, you know, turning away from people telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing, how you should and should be doing it. TikTok is fun. TikTok is freeing. You can drop your phone. You can take a video of just like a piece of paper like this. You can do whatever you want. Go like this. Put that as your first video. There's no rules. And that's kind of, it's exciting because it kind of breaks, it breaks apart all these supposed, like you have to do all these things in this certain way. And it's like, I don't know. It's just, it's fucking cool, right? Okay. So the first thing is to create consistently. Any of this information, if it does not, if you're like, I don't want to do this, that's okay. This, I am not the be all end all of information. I sometimes get shit wrong. I sometimes get shit really wrong. And sometimes I get shit right. So this is all my opinion. create consistently, whatever that looks like for you. So it could be once a day, it could be 3 times a day, it could be like 17 in a day where you're like replying to video comments, and then you like take 2 weeks off. But over like a big period of time, it's like consistently. I think it's just to keep being on and getting familiar with what buttons to push. That's what I mean by creating consistently. I'm not a big proponent of scheduling content or mapping it out. That's not my style. Sometimes that works for a lot of people. That doesn't fucking work for me. I like the spontaneous nature of TikTok and to be able to just go on and just post whenever. So in 2019, when I got on TikTok, there were no tutorials in English. There were very few tutorials at all. So so what you could do, I think there's a good and bad about having so many tutorials out there now, is because there's this illusion that you need to learn how to do something before you do it. And you don't. It's like learning how to swim. Like, you got to get in the fucking water. You can like read all these books and you can watch all these videos, but you've got to like get water up your nose. You've got to start splashing around to start. Like, there's nothing about like, nothing will replace getting in the mix. So, and there's also this illusion that people have, like, they know what they're doing. They have their shit together. They just know how to create content. And that's not true. Nobody knows what the hell they're doing. Just like more and more people just are getting really good at pretending and showing what they know what they're doing. But any creator will tell you that's like, who fucking knows what's going to happen next? Anyone that's telling you the truth. So so what I would do is I would just scroll through TikTok, and this is beneficial if you're new. It's good to just like scroll through and start hitting buttons. What does this do? Oh no, what did I just do? Favorite things, figure out where things are. You can add your favorite, like a sound that you like, an audio clip, an effect. You see somebody like change into a werewolf or a unicorn. You're like, that's really cool. Whatever it is, just like start like, oh, add that to your favorites. Save your song. You'll figure out where these favorites are. That is going to help build the skills of just when you start creating. So creating consistently entails like scrolling through and just adding things, seeing people. I also recommend following creators that aren't in your niche, and niche is a whole other thing. You don't have to have a niche, and you can have a niche and then change your mind and then be like, I don't want a niche. You can do whatever the hell you want. You can change your mind whenever you want. But say you have a jewelry business. You don't need to just like, research hashtags and only find, people that are looking for jewelry or whatever. I would like, if you find an awesome creator that makes great cat videos, follow them. Somebody that has something else that's completely random, like follow people that are different than you, that you like, because it's going to give you, that's the community of TikTok. It's going to give you lots of cool ideas. It won't be like a direct correlation of ideas, but it's like, the more you're exposed to all these different ideas and different people and their stories and their lives, you become a different kind of creator. You just get different ideas that you would otherwise. And it's fun. So I recommend doing that. So by posting consistently, just by posting, every day, let's just say you're going to post once a day, just for an example, you don't have to do this. But just by making a video a day or 2 videos a day, whatever, your skills are going to improve making TikToks. You can watch a tutorial, but then when you go to do it, then you're going back and forth, and then you get caught up in the mechanics of creating when that's not what it's about. The video, it's your content. It's the content that shines. The mechanics, nobody gives a fuck. If the message lands, however it is, it's going to land with people. And it could mean a viral video. It could mean getting comments, which comments, in my opinion, are what you really want to grow a following or a community. Community is a terrible word coming out of commercial cults, but comments are where it's at. It takes a lot for people to leave a comment sometimes, especially on social media, because they're opening themselves up, and it's a big deal. And I kind of, in my head, this is just source, trust me, bro, is that for each time somebody leaves a comment, that's indicative that there's like a lot more other people that would like to leave a similar comment, but they just don't want to for whatever reason. So just by posting consistently, your skills are going to improve. Just knowing what button to push, when to insert text, how to time it to the music. They build on each other each day. So you don't go it on and just know everything. It is very overwhelming, and you are going to fuck up, and you are going to make mistakes, and you'll probably make a mistake, and the mistake in the video that you accidentally post instead of saving it to your draft is the one that's going to like go viral. And that's also a good lesson, is, you know, not taking ourselves so seriously and just having fun and posting and just seeing what happens. Creating consistently also not only like just builds on your skills each day of like, okay, I saw this person make this transition, how do I do this? And you're kind of clunky at first, but then you get better and better. But where was I going with this? You start to get a feel for the things that you like too. You're like, oh, this is kind of my style. Like, I like to take videos in my car. I like to not be in front of the camera at all. I like to like play inspiring music and then have a quote. Like, you start to get a feel for things just by, all this happens just by posting consistently. You don't need to have somebody telling you what to do. You can figure all this shit out just by showing up. It's not going to be overnight, like they say, buy my course and you're going to have it. Like, you can eliminate all of that stuff, and you're going to be true to what you want to express. You're going to be authentic. You don't have to go down this other road of people telling you what you're doing and how you should create content. And then you just start comparing yourself all the time, thinking like, am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? You eliminate all of that shit if you just post consistently, whatever that looks like for you. Could be every day. Do duets and stitches as part of your creating. It's good. It's a nice way to start creating content, especially when you have no flipping idea where to start. And you can just do no reaction. You know, you can just sit there and smile at the camera, or add your opinion. Somebody has an opinion about something. You're like, you know what? I really like this brush. I like this wet brush. It's a decent brush. And then you could stitch it and be like, I have the same brush. I can't even believe it. You're in another country, and yet I have this same brush. And there's your piece of content. And it's cool because you're interacting with people, and that person is automatically tagged in the description. So that helps build community. There's these little connections that you have. And a lot of times, people that, they duet or stitch another creator's content, sometimes that creator follows them back, or then, you have this, like a connection now. I don't want to say relationship, but it's like you have this connection, and it's like the communities kind of like blend. And which is cool because people might be following you, or they might be following this other creator, but you can grow that way. And I want to but in a genuine way, because when people, start to duet or do stitches with other creators' content, and it's like clearly manipulative, like, I hope you follow me back. Like, that's transparent and it reeks. There's a really good, I learned a lot. I don't know. Sometimes I like waffle on this. I'm like, what the fuck did I learn in that network marketing coaching group? But I did learn actually quite a bit of things. It didn't originate with them. They like parroted it from other people, but I did learn quite a bit of things. And one of the things that I learned, which I'm going to share with you right now, is you can smell this, like you can smell that manipulation, like cheap perfume. And I know how ironic, because I didn't smell that kind of manipulation. But when somebody is trying to like clearly get you to follow them or whatever, it's a heavy-handed tactic. And you will see marketing experts or people like encourage you, to kind of do that, but you can see it, and it's out there in the community. So the other kind of X factor is about the TikTok community. So anything you do, like, people are watching, right? And a lot of people, like, they've seen it all. They've been on TikTok for a while now. So you can't really get away with a lot of shit. You're like called out on your behavior. So this is all, it's like when you do duets and stitches, it doesn't need to be like earth-shattering meaningful, but just don't expect somebody to follow you back or to like it or to comment even when you do it. Sometimes people aren't notified, whatever. It's kind of like giving with expectation. Create just to create consistently. Next tip for you. This is tip number 3, by the way. So this is, somebody has asked this. It's, what is the difference between a trend and copying someone's idea? You're going to get a feel for this as you post. It can be kind of weird. Like, a lot of people that don't create content say, well, TikTok is all about copying other people. It's all about trends. You just do it, but it's not. Like TikTok has a robust community of creating like very unique content. It's not just about copying. And so a good thing that you can do is that, so say you see somebody like a popular trend going around now is people saying it's like somebody hacks into your phone. They say they want $10,000. Otherwise they're going to release all your photos. And then people are saying, oh, I just have photos of my cat, or they just kind of make they show a bunch of silly photos. And so that would be a trend. That's an example of a trend that like, no, nobody's really originated that. You don't need to tag a creator, say, thank you so much for the inspiration with that. But when you're new, you're like, how do you know that? Like, you know that, but I don't know. It will become apparent because you post consistently, just like, because you're on there, you're going to get a feel for this. But if you ever are like having a question, if you go to the little spinny circle record in the bottom right of the screen where that's the audio, you just tap that. It'll take you to all the videos under that audio. And you can see it's like, oh, there's not like a clear person that has like made this video, or there's like 50 million people that have done this. There's no need to like say, thank you so much for creating this trend, or I got this idea from this, or inspo from this. It's obvious it's a trend. But when there's a piece of content that's like, it's definitely unique, people are starting to copy. If you're ever in doubt, it's always good. When in doubt, tag the creator in the description and just say thank you for the inspo. You're never going to go wrong doing that. It's nice to give credit, and it's a very small thing, and it can create so much good, like good community people. It's like, it's just integrity. And there's a good chance you'll have like a loyal, like you're going to have loyalty because people see that that's what you do. It's easy to say, well, everybody else is doing it. Everybody else does a lot of things that everybody else shouldn't do. So when in doubt, tag the creator and just say thank you. And you're going to learn right away. It's okay to like fuck up and make mistakes. God knows I did. I know there's one creator I was following. I didn't realize like it was his trend, Dreadful Bird. And he does this really cool thing now. I actually haven't seen his videos in a while, but it's like you're looking at a scenery and then it like flips to his face. And he would always do, it's like, relax your jaw, like lower your shoulders, move, like relax your tongue from the top of like the roof of your mouth. And it's just like a nice little break to just kind of, just relax. And then I thought it was like a trend. And so I like did a couple of videos, and then I'm like, oh shit, like that's his idea. Right. But you can tell when somebody isn't purposely trying to like, copy or deceive. You know what I mean? Oh, I hope you know what I mean. I hope you're finding this helpful. Okay, next one. This is the fourth kind of tip to help you launch on TikTok, even if you have no following. Commentary. React or comment on what you want more of. So this is a personal thing. It's like in multi-level marketing and also in the network marketing coaching group, we're taught like water the seed that you want to grow. And it's good advice. Some people like to respond to negative comments or trolling comments and, set a boundary or explain something, whatever. And it's totally up to you how you choose to do it. Occasionally I do that, but what I always kind of go back to is that, like, what do I want more of? And I want to highlight that because we're on social media. We want to have attention. Somebody that leaves a comment wants it to be read. And when you get a video reply back, it feels good. And when you get a video reply back, it kind of sends out a signal to the rest of the community or your followers or whatever that, oh, this is the type of comment that the creator is going to respond to. So there will be more comments like that coming in. So of course, sometimes you get these nasty comments coming in and it has nothing to do. It's not saying that you've done anything or you've attracted them to you by any means. It's just horrible shit that happens on the internet. But so what I like to do is I want to give like attention to what I want more of. So it could be like a funny comment because somebody that gets my sense of humor. When I first started on TikTok, I'm like, anything positive that was good, I'm like, that's who I'm gonna shine the spotlight on. They'll get my attention. But this other negative shit, it's just not worth it. I don't have I've been using this phrase. I don't know who came up with it, that I don't have the emotional bandwidth to deal with it. It's supposed to be fun. and I want to keep it fun. Although I'm like talking about heavy topics at times, but I can only do so much. So for me, that's what I do. I'm pretty for the comments. If you choose to comment back or do a video reply back to your community, you get to decide how that looks. You get to decide if you even reply to comments. You know, you could be really busy. There'll be other creators that will say, I respond to every comment, like implying that they may be better than you. That if you truly cared about people, you would reply back to every comment. It's just more fucking manipulation, and nobody gets to make your decisions for you. You get to set your own boundaries. And if people get, their panties in a twist because somebody on the internet hasn't replied back to their comment, they can fuck right off. You don't need to have that kind of manipulation in your life. Setting boundaries on social media is extremely important. So there's the feeling that you're really grateful that you want to. I'm watching the time because I can record 30 minutes at a time. So I've got to keep an eyeball on this. People are really grateful that they're getting lots of comments, and you want to respond to a lot of comments, and you want to love comments. But there's only, when sometimes you have a video that takes off, there's only so much you can do. And people understand. It's great when somebody gets a reply back, but it's not going to be like, people don't think that you're not a good person, that because you don't reply back to a comment. So be gentle with yourself. And a lot of this stuff, you're gonna learn all of these things if you just create consistently, whatever that looks like for you. Okay, the next one I kind of talked about. This was like, don't manipulate with cheap tricks. This is something I fucking hate. You're gonna see this on TikTok too. So when people are live, it would say Julie Anderson, and then you can put like a little title in there. And people will say in their title, they'll just type in mentioned you, because the way notifications on TikTok come up, it's similar to that. So it's deceiving you into thinking that somebody's doing a live video and they've actually mentioned you. But all these fuckers have done is just put that in the title. They've just typed in mentioned you because they're using that as a tactic to get more people to see their live videos. And you'll get fucking sucked in once, and then that'll be it. I hate that shit. I'm like, I'll never support you. Sometimes I'm like, if I was friends, I'm like, oh, you're out. Because I hate it, especially now after having been part of the MLM industry for 5 years and being deceived, and also being the person who is deceiving people. It's like, I just can't. If you've been a part of a high control group, you might understand. You probably understand what I'm like, the visceral reaction to this, right? Sixth tip, what do you like? And do more of it. So if you're like scrolling on TikTok and you're like, I love cats, but like you don't have a cat, that's okay. It's like, you could look at, say, what do you like about the cat video? Well, I like that it's outdoors. What does maybe you could video outdoors? Or do you like it when people like leave a really nice comment, a lengthy comment? Then you can do that on other people's videos too. It's a really good way to self-coach, is just to think of like, oh, I don't like that, so I'm not going to do that. Or, oh, I really like this, I am going to act this way or create content this way. Use your preferences to help coach yourself. And that's, I think that is something that is really underrated, because so many people are telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing. Use a hook in the first 5 seconds of your video because I've got the statistics and data to prove it. And then all it ends up happening with all these tips is that people just feel like shit about themselves, and they always think that their content isn't enough, therefore they're not good enough. And it's devastating, because it doesn't have to be like that. You can create and not give a fuck and have a good time and actually like grow a following, Following is a weird word too, but anyway, consider doing a content blitz. Now, this is not for everyone. I want to stress that there's tons and tons of different ways that you can create content. If it is, it's a fucking hell of a way to like really get over the idea that you can't come up with ideas for content. So what I was doing when I first got on TikTok, because I was still in the multi-level marketing industry. Oh shit, I got to stop this. I got to start another segment. I did this TikTok growth challenge, and it was over a 5-day period. So I had learned this idea from the network marketing coaching group I'd been a part of. And it was from attending one of their virtual events. And they'd got on different speakers to give you ideas of doing things. And one of these ideas was to have a group on Facebook and then offer value in it, have a challenge, have something that people need to do that then you have, so like a 30-day gut reset or whatever. So I thought, oh, this is really cool. I'm going to do like a 5-day TikTok challenge. And then, at the end, I'll like try to sell people my shit, my Monate shit, right? But for me, because I wanted to change the network marketing industry, I'm like, I'm going to be completely upfront about this and nobody needs to buy anything. So even before they got into the group, I'm like, this is what's going to happen. Like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And then at the end, you don't have to watch it, but I'm going to try to sell you my shit. And that's okay. So I felt good. Like I felt I was doing that like ethically or whatever. Anyway, that's what I was doing these things. And it was a lot of fucking fun. So for the people that participated, like I said, it's not for everybody, but the people that participated, it really helped them out. Because so what the thing was is I got people to do 10 pieces of content each day for 5 days. And it really gets you out of this idea that like I have to come up with something meaningful to create. There's no way I can come up with this. And to also not only like get you like forcing yourself to like push buttons on TikTok and play with filters, and lo and behold, suddenly you come up with an idea. It's crazy how it happens. But it also kind of makes you immune, not totally immune, but a little more immune to the fluctuations in the amount of views, engagement, and comments that you get. Because if you've been on TikTok or whatever, you'll see people, oh, my views are down. Oh, I've got less comments than I did before. And it can be creators with large followings. I don't like to say big creators and small creators. We're all creators. Just because there's a number on their fucking page doesn't mean they're bigger or better than you. It doesn't mean you're smaller. You're a fucking creator, So I find that for the right person, for the right people, when you pump out a lot of content like that at the beginning, it really sets you up to then like tune out what other people are telling you to do, tune out low views, high views, whatever. And it's like you are just tapped right into your creativity. So it was helpful to people. So now, and also what I've done is like, I'll take a potato and I'll like just fucking throw it and video it to emphasize, because people say like, I don't want to screw up my feed. I just like spit. And I'll just be like, no, you can just throw a potato. Like, who cares? And what's funny is I know when I did that, then other people that hadn't made a video before, they duetted throwing a potato too. So you don't know what piece of content might really be like, oh, I had no idea about this. I just got frustrated with people thinking that they needed to be perfect or needed to do something in a certain way. I'm like, just take a fucking potato and throw it, right? So I've done that. And I also did, I paid $24. This is just a random story for an ad. And I think it was about a potato. And I forget what I had as a call to action, but I just rickrolled everybody. And so I made the ad go for like, and if you don't know what that is, it's Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up. It goes to that YouTube video. And so people would like click on it to buy or for more information or whatever I had on there. And I made like content each day about that. I'm like, oh, I wonder how it's going. Right. And I'm like, somebody had come across it. They're like, oh, I was given that ad and I fell for it. Right. It was like the best $24 I ever spent. It kind of like, you can do shit like that on TikTok. Like you don't see that stuff happening on Instagram or Facebook, TikTok is the place to do it. So that's giving you like new ideas. If you decide to do a content blitz, it doesn't have to be 10 pieces of content for 5 days. It could be 5 pieces of content for 3 days. It could be anything that you want, but doing a lot of pieces of content over like that 5-day period, it seemed to work for quite a few people. And a lot of people, like at the time I was like taking screenshots of their testimonies, because then I was in that mindset of like, oh, then I can show that this is it. But it was fucking helpful, just want to share the information that fucking worked, you know? Another thing I did is this is just a story. It gives you ideas of like how you can really play on TikTok. Is you can change your bio. So you know, you see these marketing experts, especially on Instagram. It's like it has to be so fucking perfect. It's got to be like you got to think and you got to strategize, and it's like you get one shot because somebody's going to be like scrolling through, like look at your profile. Like people take themselves way too seriously and they use the exact emoji. You know, you can do whatever you want and put whatever you want. You can change it too. So, and you can put a link in your bio. Anyway, this one time I thought, you know what? I'm going to just fuck around and put free Gen X astrology reading. And I had this link up there and I linked that to Rick Astley as well, like enrolled all these people, but people got really fucking mad. It was so, I don't know. I put like Gen X astrology reading. So it was pretty clear. I mean, you can't get more clear. If you have Gen X in that, you know something is up. But I couldn't believe how many people like really got like pissed off. They clearly were not. This is deceptive. It's like, oh my God. Okay. Anyway, that's some ideas for you. So the content blitz, it can work for a lot of people. I hope I've explained it right. It's about creating a lot of content. You're like, oh my God, how am I going to come out with 10 pieces of content? What can I do? I'll do a video reply. I don't have any replies. Okay, I'm going to share that this is how, you know, the little pieces of fuzz on this, when they add up, it's actually dead skin cells. That's so gross. Like, and then you just make a piece of content. And when you do that, it's just 5 days. It's not that long. It's enough to be like, you've really accomplished something. You've really pushed out of your comfort zone. There's always elements of truth to all this stuff, you know? Okay, next thing. This is tip 8. I hope this is helping you out. Follow for follow. You might hear this still, and people will go on videos and have follow trains. I think it's gross energy. So it's just it reeks of entitlement. This was another thing that was the similar that I share my opinion with of that network marketing coaching group is I fucking can't stand entitlement. It's so disgusting. So because somebody follows you, they say, well, then follow me back. That is the fastest way to grow. Any kind of relationship, virtual, parasocial, whatever, where that's the basis from day one is like such a red flag. It's never going to end well. It's not starting well. It's not reciprocity. It's just fucking gross. I advise people, encourage people, do not do follow for follow. If somebody wants something from you, they think that, you know, and this can be like, well, I commented on your video. You need to comment on mine. Like, don't fucking tell me what to do. Set boundaries. So I would just be like, no, you don't know anybody jack shit. Okay, if somebody gets offended, that's okay. You know, it's like having a big black marker with a boundary or drawing it like that. This is me. I'm in here. That's you. You're out there. You can be offended. You can be angry. You don't have to like me. That's okay. This is my boundary. This is what I choose to do. Which rolls right into boundaries. You get to decide what they look like. So this is also something is that I read this book. It was by Patrick King. And it talked about when something happens, this is the action that you'll take. So when my views are down, when I'm feeling like defeated and horrible, that my videos suck, I will take time off TikTok. When my views are when I have a video that goes viral, I will put my phone down and take time off. It's always good to put your phone down and take time off social media, but you get the idea. It's good to, and some of these things, some of these boundaries, you're not going to learn until you're on it and you start to post consistently and you learn all this stuff already, right? So when somebody replying to comments, it's like when I get a lot of comments and I can't reply to all of them, that will be okay. I won't beat myself up. That kind of thing can also be, you know, boundary setting. Number 10, this is red flags. It's funny because nobody talks about this shit. And I know I'm concerned where it's like, I still feel like I want to be like super positive. Like this is the beginner's guide to TikTok. It's going to be so awesome. But there's a lot of fucked up stuff out there. And I learned this shit on my own. And I wish I had somebody give me a heads up. So when somebody is trolling you, and it will happen at some point, I'm pretty confident saying that, before you block them. So it's really important to listen to your instincts. The only thing we have to go on the internet is our instincts. You don't know who's on the other side. You don't know if that picture is even of them. You think it could be. I mean, who knows? But you feel weird. You're like, this is a weird comment. Another person could make a similar comment, but you don't get that weird vibe. But somebody else says something and there's something there. There's the energy. I don't know what it is. It's not body language because we can't see them, but it's some other kind of weird thing. But you can pick up on that. Please honor that and respect that, because that's when you want to catch it. You don't want to have that grow to some fucker is stalking you 7 months later and they've found you on Facebook and they've sent you parcels and they're calling you in the middle of the fucking night. You don't need to go there. You want to address it when you get that weird feeling at the beginning, and people around you might be like, well, I wouldn't respond bad to that. I don't feel anything at all. They don't fucking have to. It's because you feel it. Your like radar system is picking it up. So it can be very hard if you've been like a people pleaser. You think I should be grateful for all these people responding to me or my first comment, and yet it's this weird vibe. It can be very challenging to block somebody and delete them. He's like, I don't, and you're like, why am I feeling this way that I don't even know this person, but I'm feeling guilty? It's manipulation. And once you do it a few times, it does get easier. And then that can be a boundary. It's like, when my instincts go off, I will delete and block that person, or I will delete the comment or whatever. But before you block that person, so you notice them, they're commenting on all your stuff and it's giving you the willies. Go take a screenshot of their their handle or their profile page. Handle is username. It's Gen X CB Radio. Oh my God. Okay. Remember that song? It's like Pigpen, this year's the rubber duck. I'm about to put the hammer down. Okay. So before you do, take a screenshot of their profile page and then type in so say it was Joe Blow 69. Let's just say that. Type in Joe Blow 69 in the search bar and like look for the other users. And there's usually, when there's one of these trolls, there's like Joe Blow 1, Joe Blow 2, Joe Blow 68, Joe Blow 1969. It'll be the same fucking person. It'll have like the same picture. These people aren't that bright, So then you go and then you fucking block all of them. And because you've taken a screenshot, you kind of know, you have a little picture, their handle. Go on to Instagram and Facebook and see if they're following you there and remove them. And just a heads up on that. They did not teach me about that when I was within network marketing. We were told to heart. If you're on Facebook, it's more powerful to heart instead of like a comment. And you had to respond to everyone because you want to grow. On TikTok, you're hearting everything. So it will show you like Joe Blow loves your comment, or Julie Anderson loves your comment. And it can be like, with some people, it's like, oh, Joe Blow loves me. Oh, Julie Anderson loves me. When you're like, I just liked your comment. So if you're liking all these comments and that's the only person they're fixating on is you, and they get 5 notifications because they commented on 5 different of your videos that you loved each comment, all in a row, it's like, you can see how this shit happens, So please remember, you don't owe anybody a goddamn thing. So I put that in capitals there. Like, so super protective. You don't have to reply to messages either when people send you messages. I don't reply to messages now. I'm like, the pendulum is swung, like from where I was at within the multi-level marketing industry, replying to everybody all the time. And then now I'm like, I just don't. I'm like, occasionally I'll go in there and I'll reply, but I don't. It's taken me. Well, I started speaking out December 13th of 2021. I mean, it's almost, I don't know. I don't feel bad about it now. I don't know. It can take a fucking couple of years anyway, because I got on TikTok in 2019. It can be hard to say no. It can be hard to not respond to messages. It can be hard to feel like you're going to hurt somebody else's feelings. But by you not showing up, it shows other people it's not that big of a deal. And most people, they don't care. It's okay. People get it. It's like, if somebody responds back, that's cool. If not, no big deal. If you're in that marketing coaching group, you'll know that expression. Would you be open to taking a look at my opportunity? If not, no big deal. Okay, when TikTok glitches and all views and followers go to zero, this is like the second thing I said at the beginning. If you remember two things from this video, create consistently and just remember this thing about glitches. When everything goes to zero, you go onto TikTok and you're like, oh my God, am I been blocked? Like, have I been banned? But it just says 0, 0 and you can't really do anything. It's just close the app and go for a walk. Just be prepared. It's going to happen. And then you can be one of those people you're like, I wasn't affected by it. Like I knew this was coming and it finally happened and you don't go through this big emotional roller coaster. And you can help others too, not freak out, where it's like, it's okay. I've heard this happens. Listen to your instincts. This actually should be the number one thing all the time. Listen to your instincts about everything. If you post a video and then you're like, maybe I should delete it, delete it. People will say, never delete a video. It's like, never fucking tell people what to do because they don't know what's going on in your life. They don't know anything about you. Only you do. You're the expert on you. And you can delete the video. You can, you want to follow someone or like everybody's following one person and you're like, I don't really like them. Don't follow them. It's okay. You get, your instincts are speaking up for a reason. That's why they're there. There's also, I wanted to tell you this too, this story. Story sell, right? Fuck. There's a crosswalk in front of my house that goes across the highway. And, you press it and then the light blinks and then everybody has to stop. So I was thinking the one day, there's all this traffic. It's on the highway. It's a pain in the ass when somebody goes across it because traffic gets backed up because you're already slowing down because it's like there's houses. So people, they're not booking it 100 kilometers an hour. They have to slow down to like 50 or 60. So somebody puts on the pedestrian sign and you've got all these cars backing up. And you could see somebody that had left, from Cranbrook or wherever, they could have got up early. They could have like set out on time. But because some fucker decided to push that button at the crosswalk, they have to stop. It's beyond their control. It doesn't matter how positive their mindset was. It doesn't matter how early they got up. It doesn't matter that they took a cold water bath and did intermittent fasting. It's just because somebody push this button and they have to wait just like everybody else. There's things that go on. There's seasons. There's like Black Friday is coming up. Thanksgiving in the US is coming up. Christmas is coming up. So there's these other things, these external forces are affecting things as well. And that can input, or what's the word I'm looking for? It's like inform your instincts. And so sometimes we can't find the words to say why we're feeling a certain way. But all these forces at play are informing our instincts. Please listen to your instincts. 13th tip here, going live. This is so fucking weird on TikTok. And you're going to see this. People won't go live on Facebook or Instagram, but they will clamor to go live on TikTok just because the carrot is being held out. Like you have to have 1,000 followers in order to go live. Now, don't quote me on that. I think it's still like that now. Maybe it's changed. For the longest time it was that you had to, and if you know, please let me know. Please maybe share it in the comments. I could like Google this, right? Why would I do something so obvious like that? Because I'm going to forget as soon as I close this up and I'm going to have more coffee because I'm out of water, drinking water, and I got to go back to coffee, water. But it's really fucking weird. It's like, and it's that level of manipulation too. It's like, just because you can't go live and then everybody's wanting to go live and you'll see, please follow me and I'll follow you back. I just want to get 1,000 followers so I can go live. It's like, why? Nobody's going to be on your fucking live anyway. Like go practice. So what I think practicality, like if you do want to go live and that's cool. But like, practice on Facebook and Instagram. It's going to be great because nobody's going to view your videos on Facebook or Instagram. You're going to have the language again from that network marketing coaching group I was part of. You're going to build that muscle of going live. So then when you do get on TikTok, you're not going to be also overwhelmed and frustrated and confused. This is kind of healing for me because I'm able to use the language and concepts that I learned. And then also I'm like, I guess, segueing out of them. I'm sure you can tell when I'm using language and ideas that I learned from my time in the MLM industry and the coaching group. So that's what I recommend. And it might sound harsh, but it's not bullshit. It's the only reason people want to go fucking live is because they can't. As soon as it's like practice the skills on Facebook and Instagram. And then when you get on TikTok and you see nobody or you see a troll, you're going to be able to be like, oh, I'm going to just remove this person. I'm going to block it. You're going to be kind of like further ahead. And it's all about getting back to like, what do you want to create? What do you want to say? What is important to you? What do you want to share? Instead of like looking externally at what people are telling you to do. Here I am telling you what to do and what not to do. Okay, next one is tagging people. This is the 14th one. I'm gonna type all this out too. So if you don't want to watch this, you're like, Jesus, Julie, just tell me what to do. Just create consistently. That's the first one. Ask yourself, would I like to be tagged? I can tell. Like I remember when I was in network marketing, and then people finally started to get on TikTok, and they'd tag me, and it's like clear they wanted me to like duet them or tag them back, and I'm like, I'm not fucking doing it. I don't like to be manipulated. I don't want to be bothered. It's like somebody knocking on your door. Like, who fucking does that now? Like, phone. I am not answering my door. It's like somebody tagging me. It's like, what do you want from me? What do you want me to do? And I do like it. Now it's totally different. People are like tagging me in like content I want to see, like network marketing stuff, Gen X stuff, anything that's funny. It's a totally different feel, but you can tell it's so obvious when somebody wants something from you. You can feel it. And maybe if you've you might be people pleasing, can kind of squash that, but as you start listening to yourself more and more, you can really see it's like, I feel weird about this. It's like, why do you feel weird about this? Because this person is wanting something from you. So before you like tag a whole bunch of people in the hopes that, oh, they're going to share my video, they're going to like, and they're going to comment, and I want something from them, just ask yourself. There's that other tip. It's like, would I want this to happen to me? It's kind of a good rule of thumb. And these tips are helpful. They will help you avoid a lot of the pitfalls. It's important to fall into the pit, though, and climb back out. That's the most valuable lessons right there. But maybe not fall as much with this stuff. 15th, when to post. This was also something I learned from the network marketing coaching group. It's pretty fucking cool. I still say this. The best time to post is now, 0:00. It is a good one. People want to now in this network marketing coaching group, it can kind of be, or it can kind of go down the line of thinking of like scarcity mindset, which there's always those seeds of truth, but you don't need to hang on to ideas like, what am I going to post? I should hang on to this idea because I don't know what else is going to come. Ideas come and then you release them. Like they're coming. When you have an idea, they're coming. When you have an idea, calm down. And it just comes through you. Like you have to get it out if you've created something. And it doesn't matter. It's not like it doesn't need to be this work of art, but it's important. We express ourselves. And that's what it's like. You don't need to space it out. You can if you want to. But what helps is you find your way back to yourself creating what you want to create is just fucking post it. Don't hang on to it. It doesn't matter if you've posted 5 in a row. Post another one. Who cares? Nobody's going to fucking see it right now on TikTok anyway, because the algorithm is so messed up. So you might as well post it. But seriously, I find getting into that kind of rhythm, or having the just, you get an idea and you just post it instead of saving it. It's empowering. It's plugging any holes of energy leak, of worrying, of like, I'm not going to come up with something. Now I've got to like make sure I post this at 3 p.m. Eastern time because I watched another creator saying that this is important. It gets rid of all that shit. You just keeps it simple. There's like the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. That's a good expression. Is that expression still current? Because it should be. We should bring it back if not. Another thing is, some people like to schedule their content, and they like to do content mapping, and they have this on Mondays and Tuesdays, and that is totally okay. Whatever is going to work for you. That I do not like that. That to me is like too controlling and stifling. I am not that type of person, but it could be for you, and that's totally okay. A lot of this shit I'm saying, you're like, this does not relate to me at all, and you're probably not watching it still by this point because I've been going on for some time now. Okay, if you're going to have a 3-part story, so say you're telling a story and it's got more than one part, don't hold it back till the next day because you're going to piss off the entire TikTok community. I'm at 24 minutes. I'm going to pause this. Because people want the story, they want the rest of the story, and it's really clear the manipulation where it's like, well, come back and follow me, or come back tomorrow for the next one. It's like the whole environment on TikTok is you have your phone. I have my phone, and you're just like swiping through. And if somebody's interested, if you actually catch somebody's attention and they go back to your profile, you better have part 2 and 3 on there. And there will be people that are, you've just posted part 1 and you're in the middle of recording part 2 and people are already impatient. Like, where's part 2? People do like stories. People want to hear the rest of the story. So don't feel that you're not going to get less views or let the idea or the fear of having less views of inhibiting your creation and your creative process. Let's create, let it out, let her rip. And the last one, 16th, is take everything with a grain of salt. I got to stop speaking with these expressions. Take everything that you hear and just kind of don't believe everything you hear where you hear a marketing expert saying, they've studied 792 videos and it's just like, shut the fuck up. You can just throw a potato. You don't need to have a hook for 5 seconds. This is great if you're like a business, you have the right kind of creator, whatever. But for the vast majority of people, this is entertainment. This is like, you are getting out of your comfort zone in a cool way. You want to create. Maybe this is like, finally, you know what? Like, I really like this. I want to play on this. And that kind of advice, I find it does more damage, and it doesn't encourage people to create. It inhibits them. So there's so much of this out there now. It's like every third piece of content sometimes when I'm scrolling on TikTok. That's not an exaggeration. There's giving these tips. Have a hook. Have a call to action at the end. Give them a reason to interact with you. This is the next trending audio. Are your views going down on TikTok? Have you tried posting with intention? Follow me for my next 3 tips on what it can be never ending. And so then all you do is you're just consumed with consuming all this content about how you should be creating content instead of just creating content, which goes, and also, you don't have to stick to anything. You don't have to have a niche. And it all goes back to the very first thing, which is all you really need to know. And all this shit falls into line if you just keep creating and keep creating consistently. This is a long video to say all of that. I hope it helps at least one person out there. This video, when I originally did it, it was 17 minutes and 33 seconds. This was back, maybe it was in 2020 when I did this video. And it didn't say all the things that I wanted to say, which I got to do in this video. So thank you to Nicole from Breaking Even Communications for this suggestion. And I hope that this does help someone out there. And if you're on TikTok, let her rip. Good luck to you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.